recently signed the lease on a 1929 Spanish colonial revival style bungalow in San Diego, California. Hey everybody, welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is LK. If you're subscribed, you probably saw my last video where I did an empty house tour right before we moved in all of our belongings. And if you want to check out the full empty house tour and haven't seen it yet, I'll put in a card up here and a link in the description below. But today I wanted to start the process of setting up the home with furniture and decor that I already have, and then see what I might need to get in the future. Now that we've moved everything in, I think the best place to start is going to be the living room, because it's really the centerpiece of the home and it's the first thing that you see when you walk in the door. So this is what the living room is looking like at the moment. It's just got some extra furniture in here. But the first thing I noticed here is that this article couch I have, as well as this like mid-century record cabinet and some of the other furniture that I have, is all kind of orangey in the sense that it's also matching this like yellowy orange floor. This is select oak wood flooring, which basically means that all the slats are uniform in color, and typically they don't like have any big knots or imperfections, and they're pretty popular in Spanish style homes. And then this is what you would call like a large picture window. These are pretty classic in Spanish homes. And then these windows here are also original, and they have this like really nice wood paneling on the side with these really pretty details. It's like a really nice walnut color, but they're going to replace all these windows in August so that they have double paned windows inside. And I don't know what they're going to look like in the future, so I think we're going to have to wait before we put up any kind of like drapery or anything like that. Alrighty, so jumping into day one of this living room makeover, I want to start with the rug here. I got this from Amazon on Prime Day, and it's by Loy, and I think everyone is obsessed with this brand for some reason, so I wanted to try it out myself and see if I like it. I got the 9x12, and I think it's going to work, but I also think now that I've been living in here that probably an 8x10 would be better, just because I don't want the rug to creep into the dining area or the entryway. But let's roll it out and see what it looks like, and if I have to exchange it, then I have to exchange it. So as you can see, this is a gigantic rug. I don't know if you can tell on camera. I do think I could definitely get away with like an 8x10 because it would cut off basically this much, and I could show more of the horizontal paneling of the floor here, because I think that's a really cool like detail. This is not a typical rug I would usually pick, but I think the colors are really working for me. This is also totally matching the tile on the fireplace, which was accidental and really great because it's kind of reflecting over here. And then I think there's like the coolish green and blue tones are really complementing and contrasting in a good way to all of the yellowy, orangey furniture and flooring. And I think the size is questionable here. Maybe I could pull the carpet all the way back to the wall and then put this record player there, and it kind of feels like a carpeted moment. But for now, I have this tree here. They just put it there when we moved, and I think it actually works in that corner. And then over here, so ignore all the plants on the bookshelf here. I don't think they're all gonna stay there, but I really think that this is the best corner for it. It really fits, and I love how the wood tone really matches the wood framing. And I don't entirely want all of the same wood in one space. I think having it too matchy-matchy is kind of boring. And I like having the mix of different types of wood tones as long as they're all complementary to each other. This is the only other spot that would fit it, and it's behind the door. And then this would just not make sense because of the light switch and the plug down here. The other thing is there's not a lot of plugs in the house. There's one that's behind here, which is what the AC is plugged into. And then the only other plug is like right over behind the record player here. I really definitely want the couch here to be facing the outdoors. But I think it's just so nice. Like if you come over here and you can just like look outside at all like the pretty plants and things like that. This is more interesting to me than watching a TV. I think what makes the most sense is butting up these two pieces of furniture together to make them into one long piece. One is like the little vintage mid-century telephone bench, and the other is a record player cabinet. And I think it's just good to have something like this on this wall because it's so long and I don't have any other larger pieces at the moment. And I kind of like this because it mimics the same coloring in the couch. And I like that it's just not like one big rectangular unit. It kind of feels unique, which is cool. So the other thing is I really like to decorate with plants because I just like to have plants in my space. It makes it feel a little bit more natural and grounded, and I just like having earthy tones in here. And I got this rubber tree for free from this florist who just didn't want to bring it back to life. So I brought it back to life and I put it in like a thrifted basket, and I thought that this would be nice in the corner over here. Weird that there's two trees behind me. This one is a different size, a different color, and a different shape. So I don't think so. And it's kind of like serving a purpose of filling a dead space, and same with this one, but it's also kind of like grounding the space, adding a little bit more color and things like that. So if you have any ideas on how to like decorate with plants, let me know. I think it's just more of like an intuitive thing. If there's like a special science to it, let me know. Okay, so I'm kind of liking where we're at the moment with the furniture layout in the living room, but the entryway is still kind of part of the living room, and I want to consider some kind of storage or something just to eliminate mess. So this coffee table I got in 2020. I was like really looking for something that was super different and mod, and like a coffee table that was not wood because I had so much wood already. And I thought that this was like the coolest thing, and I can't part with it at the moment, but I think it could fit right here behind me underneath this window. It's like the perfect height. So I'm actually kind of liking this. It fits perfectly underneath the window here. It'll be great for shoes and just to be a catch-all at the moment, since I want to maybe DIY something here for like a key or coat rack. And I took all the plants off of this bookshelf here so we can get a better idea of what to do. I'm gonna have to style this. Then over here, I moved the rug over just a tad so that you could see the vertical wood paneling around the hearth of the fireplace. And then it is kind of touching over on the baseboard here, which kind of stresses me out, but it's kind of not a big deal. This is like the walkway, and I don't know if you're gonna pay too much attention to it. And I pulled the rug back, so it does kind of make more of like a statement back here, I feel. But the one thing that you might be noticing is that this coffee table is a lot higher than the couch. And I realized that when I bought it, and it just feels a bit odd when you put a drink on there or when you like want to do something with the coffee table. So I think I want to see if Article sells other legs where I could replace them, like raise the couch up a bit. But I'm gonna have to do some research on that. So I will catch up with you guys a little bit later and let you know where I stand with this. Hello everyone, it is the next day. I spent the afternoon talking to Article online. They have like a chat option where you can talk to their customer service. And I said, hey, just like if I broke one of the legs on my couch, for example, do you guys sell parts where you have like different legs or replacement legs, or can I get legs from like another couch? And unfortunately the answer is no. However, I said, what would you suggest then if something happened like that? And they said, basically, you can go online and search for legs that you can put on a couch. And I said, okay, great. Well, all of the ones I'm seeing on Amazon have like different thread numbers. So like the screws have like little lines. I'll put in a picture so you can see what I'm talking about, but like each line has so many millimeters and gap in between them, and that's like what the threading is that would go into the couch screw. And they suggested a certain size. I'll put that on the screen as well. And basically that is a European standard. It's not really an American standard size screw. So I gave them a few options. Luckily, they were like totally willing to chat with me about this. And they told me that this specific one that I found would work, and it was still on same day delivery. So it actually got to my house last night at like 7 or 8 p.m. And basically it's a 8-inch leg. The ones that are on the couch at the moment are 6. And so I think an extra 2 inches would just give us like a little bit more room off the floor. I also ordered these plates as well. These plates are new plates that can go in the bottom that would fit this a little bit better and also fit into the hole on the bottom of the couch. So let's try it out and see if it works. Okay, so this is like really sturdy. I'm pulling on it really hard and it feels good. So I'm just gonna replace it on every leg. I wonder if I should stain it before though. Maybe I'll stain these before and then I'll put them on every leg. So these legs have a really thick lacquer on them and the color is too light. And I have this bare wax that I used in a DIY. And instead of going through the whole process of taking out the stain and doing multiple layers and putting pre-stain on, I thought I might as well take some 60 grit sandpaper and try out the wax, considering it might be a lot faster. And I think it might give it that natural grain look more so than the oversaturated stain. And I think it really looks somewhat similar to these article legs. Okay, so I just finished the legs and I basically did 2 coats on every leg and I just put them out in the sun to dry. I think they need like 2 hours to dry and cure, but I'm going to take off the rest of the legs on the couch in the meantime and then we'll check in and see what they look like when we're done. So I'm finally done putting the legs on the couch and I'm really happy with it. And you can kind of tell that the seat of the couch and the height of the coffee table is almost at the same height. And I don't know if there's some kind of rule to that, but it seems to feel a lot more comfortable when you sit down. It's like directly right in front of you. So let's get back to decorating this room. Okay, good morning everyone. It is day 3 of this living room makeover and it is hopefully the final day. I've been taking my time with this just to make sure that I got the couch right and that the layout feels good, but I'm really liking it so far. And I think the final thing to do is just create a few vignettes with the spaces that I've already made so far. So I'm going to gather all of my thrifted items that I think fits in this space and then we'll see what actually stays. So I've pulled out all the decor that I think like might fit in here and all the stuff that I was able to unpack. This is definitely not all of it, but I feel like most of this would make sense in here and I'd like to use all of it in some way. But other than that, I think we should be good to go. So let's get into it. I also added this guitar over here because we don't really have anywhere else to put it. And I guess it is kind of Spanish, so it kind of fits. So starting at the entryway, I'm going to use this flint wood tray that I got at the Pasadena flea market to hold our sunglasses and keys and anything else that we take out of our pockets. And then I thrifted this mirror when I was on a road trip and I had it in my entryway in my last place and I really liked having a mirror on the way out the door, so I think it's gonna look great here. And then I've got this chair that I'm not really sure what to do with and I've just held on to it and I thought maybe I could still use it in this entryway because it kind of like mimics the little entryway coffee table because it's almost like the same kind of like material. It's like this plasticky white. So I thought that maybe I could put it here and it could be kind of like a utilitarian thing where you like sit down and take your shoes off or put them on. Okay, so I've moved this over just a tad so it's off center and I added this lamp here because there's actually no lighting in this like front area. So I thought that this might be kind of nice. I think it needed like 3 things over here to kind of feel like a complete moment. The newest addition to my decor is this bronze crab. It's actually a mid-century ashtray and it's just super me. I'm a Cancer and I love crabs and I also love mid-century ashtrays, so I absolutely love it. was my living room makeover. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I absolutely love the way that the living room turned out. It feels like such a good mix of styles and feels cozy yet refined, and really just feels like me. I was really glad that I could use a lot of the furniture and decor that I already have to really fill out this space and make it feel like this little Spanish bungalow that it is. I just love the vibes in here, and I can't wait to implement a couple more DIY solutions once the windows are refinished and over the next couple months as I kind of look for new things that meld this new style that I'm growing into, just to give it more of a vintage and handmade vibe and make it feel a little bit more personalized and intentional. But yeah, I'd love for you to subscribe if you have not already, and make sure you hit the notification bell to get alerted when I come out with new room makeovers or DIY projects in the future. And make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas if you have any about the evolution of this space and what you think of like the rug positioning and the couch DIY and all that good stuff. So anyways, I will see you guys next week. Bye.